about that because he just doesn't. He just feels like when he gives blood, it's in his head that it's just affects him. It affects him for like 3 days, and then he starts feeling better after that because he's like a little bit of a hypochondriac.
Okay. So what happens, Freddie, this time? I mean, how does this thing reconcile itself?
I think that Mayweather is going to let the commission do their job, and as they always do, and you know, he's saying now that he wants to clean the sport up. And so I don't think the steroids are that used in boxing, to be honest with you. I'm sure they're out there because it's part of our life and the society we live in
so
today.
So you think that Mayweather will come off that demand and blood testing is not going to be a part of this?
Again, and let the commission do their job, because we're not going to let Mayweather run the show for sure. Because that's like giving the first 2 rounds away. I mean, why would I let him give him that? I mean, next thing you know, he'll be saying we'll fight in 16-ounce gloves or 2-minute rounds, and he's you know, we're going to go what the commission says. And the thing is, I'm sure there's going to be a trade-off between Manny dropping the lawsuit and him dropping the drug test.
Now, Freddie, you look back at your career. You had a long career. Did the career go on too long, and should you have got out sooner as a fighter?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Eddie told me to retire.
Eddie Fudge.
Yeah, Eddie Fudge, my coach, and he told me to retire before 5 fights before I did, and I fought 5 more times, and I lost 4 of the 5. So he's probably right. And then, you know, I ended up with Parkinson's syndrome or disease, but you know, it's something I chose, though, and it's something I deal with every day. And but I'm happy. You
know, you were 26 when he first told you that. What was your response, and why didn't you retire?
You know, I was just really frustrated. I put my whole life into something and to get what I wanted out of it. I wanted to be world champion, and you know, I cried that day when he told me it was over, and I just hard to realize that. And then, you know, it's hard to swallow. You know, I mean, I've been doing this since I was 6 years old, and you know, then I got a job as a telemarketer. You know, Joe Davis. My phone name, selling pens and key tags on the telephone, and I'm not a great speaker, so I didn't do that well.
Yeah, but Freddie, it was your life, and then it was taken from you, and then you could no longer do it. More than that, you were kind of floating around. It was not easy in the beginning, was it? You had trouble.
No, I was drinking and playing, you know, messing around, getting a lot of fights and getting arrested.
Street fights.
Street fights, of course, because I'm small and I know how to fight. And
never back down.
No, you know, I used to think that I said I never started a fight, but now I think back, maybe I did.
So Eddie Fudge finally finds you. He knows what's going on. He knows you're going down the path. He knows you're in trouble. You're drinking. You're fighting. What did he do?
He told me some stories about a couple of guys that went that way and ended up getting shot and killed and so forth. And then he asked me, you know, he had Virgil Hill, he had Larry Holmes, he had Michael Spinks. He's really busy, so he asked me if I'd help with the younger guys, and then he gave me Virgil Hill, my first world champion, and it just I found out something I was better at than boxing, and that was training.
You know, do you talk to Manny Pacquiao about it? For instance, I mean, you're a Hall of Famer, Freddie, but you were a tough fighter, and if you had to take 2 to give 1, you would. Manny Pacquiao's different. I mean, he's better than everybody, pretty much. But do you have these conversations with him, and what's his exit strategy?
You know, the thing is, Manny Pacquiao has something to fall back on. He's a singer in his country. He's going to be congressman pretty soon, I think.
Freddie, respectfully, you didn't just call him a singer, did you?
Well, he's got 2 platinum albums over there, so I mean, they do sell. I mean, yeah, I'm not a singing expert. So
all right.
In his movies, he has 7 movies out now. In his last movie, he played a character, Pac-Man, who has Spider-Man and Superman.
He likes the stage, doesn't he?
He loves the stage. Someone asked me, like, is Dallas going to be too big a stage for Manny Pacquiao? Give me a break.
Like, there isn't one that's too big.
Never.
You know, the thing is, he never seems to get caught up with who he's fighting personally. He doesn't like Mayweather, does he?
No, he's the first guy. Mayweather's the first guy I've seen him. He says he becomes Mayweather in the ring when we're working on the mitts, and he pulls his shoulder back and makes some moves, and then he shows me how he would attack that, how he'd break that defense down. And he doesn't like Mayweather because of that. You know, of course, you know, he's a real clean kid, and he just, I mean, he doesn't.
What, it's an honor thing. He accused him of using steroids, and he didn't like that.
He doesn't like that. It's definitely an honor thing, and he's really upset about that. And you know, the thing is, But in the fight, though, I can't let that get in the way. I can't get
right. You don't want him fighting angry.
No, because then Mayweather will walk you into a shot. Because Mayweather is good, very good defensively and a very good counterpuncher.
I've heard you say that he doesn't have a style that's that hard to figure out. Nobody's figured Mayweather out. He's very slick. He's very tough to hit. What do you know that other people don't know?
You know, I study tapes, and
you're not going to tell me is what that is.
No, I'll tell you. The thing is, people, because I want people to learn, and they should. But the thing is, you can't look for his mistakes, because anyone can make a mistake in a fight. But you got to look at their habits, what they do every time with every opponent. Some that's similar, that they have a habit, and when you make this move, they're going to make that move. That's where you know you have them. Okay, you set up counterpunch, you set traps to draw them into making those habits happen, and you know they do it so naturally. And there's a couple moves that he makes that we can take advantage of.
I got about 30 seconds, and this was not a condition of this, but I love the Wild Card Gym, Freddie. It's an amazing place. You've got world champions, you've got blue-collar types, white-collar types. What's going on in your gym quickly these days?
Crazy. I mean, the last 3 months I have 500 new customers. It's just nuts. I need a bigger gym. You know, I did expand. I knocked a wall out, and I need to knock another wall out, I think, because it's just, you know, tourists come every day.
Business is good, Freddie. Bigger is better. You earned it. Listen, I appreciate the visit. It's always good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Remember, you can check out Jim Roman's Burning each weekday at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific on ESPN.